Welcome back to Tales of Japan. Today, we're going to be reading a story from Sword of the Samurai by Eric Kimmel. First, a little introduction. Most people have heard exciting stories about King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Knights were the fighting men of Europe's Middle Ages who rode into battle dressed in suits of elaborate armor. The samurai were the knights of old Japan. They, too, wore elaborate armor and carried swords, which are among the most beautiful ever made. The European knight's values and conduct were shaped by his Christian faith. In a similar way, the samurai's outlook and character were molded by Shintoism and Buddhism, Japan's two major religions. Bushido, the warrior's code, emphasized the values of humility, honor, and loyalty to one's master, living in harmony with nature, self-control, and surprisingly, non-violence. The great samurai masters never drew their swords unless absolutely necessary. So today's story is called The Coward. Two officers once brought a common soldier before Lord Reiko for judgment. "What has he done?" Lord Reiko asked. "This man is a coward. He ran away during battle," the officers replied. "What shall we do with him?" Lord Reiko asked his lieutenant, Yorabi no Suetaki. Suetaki answered at once, "Cowards must die. Kill him." The soldier fell to his knees. "Have pity on me. I can't help being afraid. I'm a farmer, not a soldier. I was dragged from my home and forced to fight." "What soldier isn't afraid?" Lord Reiko answered. "If we accept your excuse, we would have no army at all." Suetaki drew his sword. "Enough of this chatter. Let me cut off his head." The soldier spoke suddenly. "I am sorry your eyesight is not as keen as it once was." Suetaki paused. "What do you mean? My eyesight is fine." "Everyone knows that Yorabi no Suetaki is the greatest archer in Japan," the soldier said. "I have heard that you once shot a needle hanging from a thread as you rode by on horseback. Is that true?" "Of course it's true. I demonstrated that feat 5 years ago in Kyoto at the archery competition at the Renjyoin Temple, and I can do it again. There is nothing wrong with my eyesight or my aim." "Then why kill me with a sword? What is the challenge in that? Would you not prefer to use me as a living target? I would not mind dying so much if I knew I had the honor of being brought down by an arrow from Yorabi no Suetaki's bow." Suetaki was flattered. "Well, if you feel that way, let's make this a real contest," he suggested. "Do you see the tree standing at the edge of this field? I estimate it is about 1,000 yards away. You are to run toward it. If you manage to live long enough to reach the tree, I will ask Lord Reiko to spare your life." Lord Reiko agreed. "I will do more than that. I will give you a purse of gold and release you from the army." "Oh, your lordships are most generous. I accept the challenge," the soldier said. Suetaki strung his bow. "All you have to do is get across the field to that tree." Then he whispered to Lord Reiko, "This will be easier than shooting rabbits." Lord Reiko raised his fan as Suwataki fitted an arrow to the bowstring. Go! The soldier began running. The rest of the army gathered to watch. Soldiers and officers placed bets on how far the man would get before Suwataki shot him down. No one thought he would last long enough to reach the middle of the field. Suwataki raised his bow. He took careful aim, released the bowstring, and missed. The arrow flew to the right as the soldier ran on. How could I have missed such an easy shot? Suwataki asked himself. There must have been a sudden gust of wind. He fitted another arrow to his bowstring, aimed again, and missed. This time the arrow went to the left. Suwataki shot 2 quivers full of arrows at the soldier. He missed every time. Not a single arrow came close. By now, the soldier had reached the end of the field. He flung his arms around the tree. Well done! Lord Reiko called to him. Come back here and claim your reward. The soldier walked back across the field. Suwataki confronted him, red-faced with anger. What is your secret? What spell did you cast on me to cause my arrows to miss? Did you learn this trick from a wizard? No, my lord, I used no spells and no tricks, the soldier replied. Only a secret I learned from a rabbit. A rabbit? Lord Reiko chuckled. Explain this to us. The soldier began. One summer, when I was a boy, a rabbit invaded our vegetable patch. None of our snares worked. He could outrun all our dogs. One night, my father sent me out with a bow and arrow, telling me to shoot the rabbit when he appeared. I was a good shot, much better than my brothers. I saw the rabbit many times, yet I could never hit him. At last, I realized why. There is a brief moment between the time when the archer releases the bowstring and the instant the arrow strikes its mark. The rabbit listened for the twang of my bowstring. As soon as he heard it, he jumped aside. My arrow went exactly where I aimed it, but the rabbit was no longer there. He turned to Suwataki. I knew you would aim for the middle of my back. As I ran, I listened for the bowstring. The instant I heard it, I jumped aside. Your arrows passed without touching me. How clever of that rabbit. Be grateful. You owe your life to him, Lord Reiko told the soldier. I grant you a full pardon. Take this purse and these documents. They are your release from the army. You are free to go home. He learned something from a rabbit, and I learned something from a coward, Suwataki sneered. Don't say that, Lord Reiko said. No person who volunteers to run 1,000 yards across an open field while Yurabi no Suwataki shoots arrows at him can ever be called a coward. He was just not a very good soldier.